And welcome everyone back to another episode of Goats and Rings. Of course, I'm your host, Walt Stringer, back from a 2-week hiatus. Had some draft work to do, got some articles to work on, some scouting reports to get out, but I'm back. I plan on officially being back consistently every Tuesday again. And of course, I'm joined again by my boys, Big Block Sports, and Know That. What's going on with y'all fellas tonight, man?
Hey, man, we still here.
Hey, happy to be here. Happy to be here as usual. Holding on by a thread.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, I know you holding on by a thread.
Hey, boy, I tell you, I'm stressed out, bro. I can't even lie to you,
Man,
bro.
I'm
Stressed
me?
out.
Y'all trying to talk to me about stress?
Nah, but I mean, y'all would though. You know what I'm saying? At least at the end of it, you know what I'm saying?
No,
You can be like, all right.
But I'm gonna say this. At least we know we not going nowhere though. The 49ers think they still going somewhere.
Going somewhere.
You know you're not going on 16.
There you go.
Yeah, but the Niners think they going to the playoffs.
Man, we were already in the Super Bowl right now.
I mean, I don't blame y'all. I mean, y'all a championship organization, so even when y'all going through a rough season, you're supposed to still. Yeah, I mean, a championship organization, even when you're going through a rough season, you're supposed to still feel like you one win away. That's how you keep that mentality.
Man, I'm stressed out, bro. I'm not. I might not be built for this.
That boy got you developing some flour up there on top of your head, man.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
He might be. Man. He might be.
It's already
all right,
up.
So we walking up on week 14, fellas. We seemed like a marathon, man. They only added one more game. We ain't seen that one more game yet, but man, it seemed like we done sat through and read an entire novel.
Yeah.
We got 4 games left, 5 games left, I believe. Things are really starting to take shape. As we spoke on in the pre-show, they backload the schedule purposely. The league backloads the schedule purposely with these divisional games and these interconference games. Make sure teams compete to the bitter end of the season. What do you guys think so far? Before we jump into everything, I mean, as a totality, what do you think of this season so far? I'm me personally, I'm just happy that COVID has had a hand in the season, but no damn where near as bad as it did last season. So that's one thing I have noticed. I'm glad for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the two things that you called out, the extra games seem like 7 extra games for some reason. And it's been an exceptionally exciting season. Like I don't know if it was like you said, because COVID last season had things kind of weird. And then this season we back at full force. But every game, every week, it's always games coming down to the last field goal. Like especially sometimes if you watch Red Zone, all the early games coming down to a field goal, and they show all of them at the same time. And you know what I'm saying? So I think I would say probably in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we really started to see some teams really, like you said, pull apart and really start to blow some teams out. But early, it was like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen in this season.
I think that extra game made this season a whole lot more interesting. Like right now, when we're in week 14, without that extra game, we wouldn't be really talking about, no disrespect, but we wouldn't be talking about the 49 holding that last spot right now. We wouldn't be worried about who the hell they play next week. It wouldn't make no difference. Because that the same way with in the AFC. Who the hell got the last spot in the AFC? I think probably Buffalo right now.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Probably Buffalo. So if without that last spot, the way Buffalo just looked at Monday night, we wouldn't even be talking about them. No folk be dead. No folk be on the outside looking in. So I think the idea of that extra game really helped out the season a lot, kept the spice in the season. So I'm saying, like we were saying earlier, I'm saying make you gotta there, come on with it. Ain't no sit down and get no rest. You got to come on with it or your ass got that might be out of here.
Yeah,
so I think I like that. I like that.
One thing I have noticed, I think a little more than anything else, is that it's really affecting the divisional games this year. I mean, like even at this point right now, Cleveland's 6-6 right now. Cleveland could still logically win that damn division. Like they still got a shot at winning that division. So
mathematically.
Mathematically they still can. But I mean, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like Baltimore playing like shit right now. They just happen to be winning games. Now, the luck ran out against Pittsburgh the other night. Cincinnati up and down. Cincinnati probably is the best team in that division. But, they still young and they up and down. So
that will make me don't. I want to put them in the best team at the division, but that will make me feel shaky about that. The inexperience and the up and down. But when it comes to Baltimore, I feel the injury bug catching up with them folks. Especially with the injury with that other cornerback that just got hurt.
Yeah. Marlon Humphrey's going to be a big injury, but I think what keeps teams like Baltimore and in that division, teams like Pittsburgh in the game is the experience they have at head coach. I think a lot of that goes overlooked when you look at Zach Taylor in Cincinnati, who's only a second or third year coach. Same thing with Stefanski. They just got the team. So a lot of times the Ravens, like you said, they playing terrible, but they edge out the game. Why? Because of Harbaugh and the coaching staff that they got. And sometimes at the end of the season, that's what really separates the good teams from the okay teams.
But that was going to separate you.
Yep.
When it boiled down to, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, only thing with Baltimore, I think, is the fact that they got the grit. That organization always had the grit. You don't get drafted into that organization without having grit. You don't become a coach there. Yeah, you gotta have grit. You gotta have toughness. You gotta want to win preseason games, not just regular season games. Like that's how winning organizations. Even though they've got 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, saw both of them when they beat the Giants, and then the other one when they beat San Francisco 49ers, of course. But
I don't remember that game, bro.
I know you don't.
Of course,
I know you don't.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. But even outside of those 2 seasons, like. Constant winning. If you look at John Harbaugh's career, that man got 1 season out of 13 under 500.
Yep.
That's how it's supposed to be. Even though, I think as a spoiled franchise fan base who has won a couple Super Bowls, I think you typically, of course, I can't speak for that shit because I'm a Lion fan. But I'm saying if I was a winner over here, if we was winners over here, I would be like, you know what? Give me 1 Super Bowl a decade. Even that may be a little bit, but with the parity in the NFL, is 1 Super Bowl a decade too much to ask for?
I ain't gonna tell you that compared to sports, a decade go by fast as hell.
Yeah.
What that 10 year, right?
Yeah.
Decade 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Man, that shit go by fast as a motherfucker. That shit go by fast as hell. So that's saying about logic compared to sports because you play 16 games. Okay, you play 17 games. Then the $20 if you win the Super Bowl. You ain't got to pay no more till next year.
Yeah.
So that sound about right. That sound about right in sports terms. That sound about right. But how you say about Harbaugh, he had them like 1 losing season with Baltimore. Did you just say that?
Yeah, 1 losing season.
Shit, Mike Thompson had nail.
Exactly.
So it versus like how you say about Baltimore, it's a tradition. I'm saying it's the culture. I'm saying that Pittsburgh got that same culture, Baltimore got that same culture.
It's funny you mentioned that because what's really weird about that. I'm glad you mentioned that because I ain't even peeped that out. They did it in the same damn division.
Yes.
Like how both of y'all have that type of excellence when y'all playing against each other. Well, they do got the Bengals and Browns in there too, though.
Because they got the opposite of that culture.
Yeah,
What's the culture of this?
I was just saying at the time, as when they didn't do their thing, Cincinnati and Baltimore, they did the opposite. So they didn't have a winning culture. They didn't want to win. They just wanted to goddamn say they got a team, whatever. In the time the Browns almost did, no disrespect, what Detroit did went over got their 16. The Browns been in that conversation before. They didn't do it. And I don't believe they did it. But they was in the conversation. Cincinnati.
No, they did it. They went winless.
So that's a different stage. You in a whole different stage. You went on the L side and got that Baltimore and Pittsburgh on the W side.
Yeah.
But within the last couple of years, it seemed like Cincinnati and Baltimore, especially this year, trying to come over there and sit at the table with Baltimore and Pittsburgh. One on one to come over there and sit at the table with them. They getting tired of sitting on there by themselves. But it's gonna be hard to carry that culture what Pittsburgh and Baltimore got going on because they got a routine. And they go all the way back to, like you just said, the preseason. These folk be dead serious when it's time to play football.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
What
I
you
think
think?
the issue with the Ravens, man, they like I said, to get back to what I was originally talking about, though, they got the grit, they got the toughness, they got probably the best kicker in football, they got a dynamic playmaker at quarterback. But the issue is this: this is what year 4 now, 4 straight seasons where he kind of trailed off towards the end of the season. And if you look at his stats, his interceptions have went up every damn year in the league.
By the
And
end
he
of the
had
year,
13.
I always go by the end of the year.
Yeah. So is this another situation where, and don't get me wrong, if John Harbaugh gets this team to the playoffs, he ain't gonna win Coach of the Year. He ain't gonna win Coach of the Year. But if he manages to get this organization, this team to the playoffs, with the issues and the injuries that they've had all season, this has to be, in my opinion, even if he goes one and done, this is his best coaching job, period.
I feel like that too with the all the injuries they got.
I mean, they was just the number 1 seed last week.
But that's
So
funny because
it ain't like
I'm talking
you,
about them like they
you know what I'm
8-8
saying.
right now,
So
though.
the playoffs for sure.
That's
I
how
know
close
they
it
gonna
is.
make the playoffs. I think they still got a shot to be the number 1 seed.
I don't know
That's how close it is. Though.
because
It didn't close.
That's
I
how
don't know
close it is.
because
Like
they
before New England won, it was 4 teams in the AFC, 8-4.
Yeah.
That's how close it is. So with them winning, other teams doing the same thing. That's why you could be one this week, and next week you go down to the 6th seed or your 5th seed. So the nigga that right there to you, he right in your pocket. He ain't like he in your pocket. He right in your pocket.
They all 8-4 or 9-4.
But well, we can look at that. They 8-4. But look at the schedule though. That's at Cleveland. They got Green Bay at home, and then they at Cincinnati. Cincinnati already put one on them bad. And it was funny. You peep this though. You peep Cincinnati putting it on the old heads though. Like Pittsburgh and Baltimore, they put it on both the old heads.
Yeah.
They dropped 40 on both all 3 games. Well, they got Cincinnati, they got Baltimore in 2 weeks.
With that Humphrey being hurt, I can see Cincinnati got there beating them again.
Yeah. Then they got the Rams, of course. That we know that Rams game gonna be big in week 16, week 17. So
how many games are like 4 or 5? How many games are 4?
Cleveland, Green Bay, Cincinnati, Rams, Steelers.
So it's 5 games left. Shit, but the way they schedule looking, you just said Green Bay.
That ain't no guaranteed playoffs, especially with as beat up as they asses is right now.
After them 5 games, but they got to win at least
3.
At least 3 of them. I'm talking about 3 of them. And got the 3 of them a little shaky because how close this shit is. So they really got to win 4 games if they want to lock themselves in.
They gotta beat Cincinnati. They gotta beat Cincinnati.
That's one of the 4 games they gotta win. If they win 3 games, that's depending on other folk. So they're hoping nobody else didn't win 4 games out of 5 or 5 straight out of 5. You see what I'm saying? So they got to these last 5 games. They got to win at least 3 to the less. They can't lose no more. They can't lose no more than 2 games out of these 5.
Yeah, it's rough for them. So I'm guessing
Baltimore's a must. I mean, Cincinnati a must win.
Who y'all got winning the division?
Baltimore.
We gonna call this for now. We gonna come back. We gonna come back and do this again. Probably
this
the
recorded,
last week,
right?
The last week of the season. Last week of the season.
I got the same thing.
Put your money on it. Put your money. You got the money. I ain't talking about physically put your money on it. But if you got the money, who you putting your money on with 5 games left to win this division?
Baltimore.
I'm taking Cincinnati.
Me too. The beginning of
the division. First of all, we already got a head start. Then you got to think about, all right, well, what's it going to come down to at the end of the season? It's going to come down to tough weather games, which Baltimore has the advantage in, I feel like. It's going to come down to coaching, which Baltimore has the advantage. It's going to come down to quarterback play. And I think because Lamar Jackson is a mobile quarterback and Joe Burrow is not, I'm not saying he can't move, but I think that's the advantage. I also think the experience that Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Sammy Watkins, even though they lost Humphreys, I think that is going to be a big loss. There's still a lot of experience on that defense. Chuck Clark, Queen, Patrick McQueen.
They lost Elliott too. They lost
Deshaun Elliott.
Yeah.
They lost him too.
So I'm still taking Baltimore.
I think the injury board that caught up with him.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna go back to the fact that we got 17 games now, and another thing I think is will come into play because, man, I can only imagine what the hell Week 17 gonna look like with a whole bunch of. It's gonna be like 7 damn teams
And
with the
everybody
same
got the
exact
same
record. And what's gonna happen is them division interdivision records gonna come into play. Also, point differentials. Cincinnati put points on people.
They're gonna be the last
Cincinnati,
definition. They're gonna be the last point right there. They're
yeah.
gonna be the last definition.
The Ravens struggle scoring points. All of these 16s here, 13s here, and Cincinnati scoring 35 and 40 on people. It can logically come down to that too.
If Cincinnati beat them, you ain't got to worry about that.
Oh no, if Cincinnati beat Baltimore, they stuck.
Yeah.
I don't think it even matter what they do against Pittsburgh week 17. I mean week 18 if that's the case. I just think they stuck. But yeah, I'm going with Cincinnati.
I got Cincinnati too.
Block, you going with
Edge Bull. I think the Edge Bull just caught up with Baltimore.
Block, you going with Cleveland, right?
I'm taking the Lions.
Oh man, they need to move us to that division. It would make more sense.
But I had Cleveland before the season started though. Before the season started, I had
I've never been high on Cleveland.
I had Cleveland winning the division before the season started. That's what
I ain't like the way I ain't like the way things fell out for them in that playoff game. And then I was kind of sketchy. I was kind of sketchy on how I viewed them too, considering the fact that when teams bring in so many new toys, and sometimes when things look too good to be true, a lot of times it is. And I just felt like they just wasn't ready for that. I knew Pittsburgh was going to be back competing.
I had them coming last in the division.
You know, I wasn't so sold on
Cincinnati. Line, though. It was because of the offensive line and they quarterback.
Oh, yeah. But shit, I also thought Cleveland was going to be straight because I thought Chubb and Hunt was going to be healthy all season. Even though they not.
Number one. I put them at number one. Baltimore number 2. Cincinnati 3. Pittsburgh last. Yeah. Only thing I got right at Pittsburgh last.
All right. So listen. Them boys at the top. The boys at the top of the AFC West right now, the Kansas City Chiefs, they done won, was it 4 straight now? I believe
5.
it's 4.
5.
Yeah, they flipped.
5 straight?
5.
Okay. All right, so that's 5 straight wins.
They flipped.
The defense over the last month and a half, has stepped up tremendously. They needed to because their offense still ain't there. I don't know if I think it's still Mahomes. I don't know what the real deal is, but
me too.
They I'm gonna put it like this. I'm not gonna knock them for it. They benefited. Everybody, I think, every good team this season in the NFL has benefited from a good stretch of maybe playing some bad teams or a stretch of running up against some opponents where quarterback out with COVID or a star wide receiver might be gone or something like that. Everybody benefit from that. Yeah, and I can't knock them for it because at the beginning of the season when they was losing, I was beating them over the head saying, well, you got to at least win games. So they winning games now, so I can't knock them for it. The Chargers, man, that's the wild card to me because I think the Chargers can beat anybody in the AFC. Like on any given Sunday come playoff time. They got the talent on the defensive side of the ball. They got the pass rushers. Eckler doesn't put up a whole lot of rushing yards, but he second in the league in touchdowns, I think, on the ground. Herbert, a flat-out stud out there. They got the wide receivers. We just really don't know about, of course, the head coach and the situation. He hasn't really been there before. But the inconsistent play with the Chargers is what puzzles me, And I don't want to keep saying, well, they're a young team because they're not that damn young.
That part they're over with about the young team.
Yeah, they're not that damn young. Of course, the Raiders pretty much fade in the black, and the Broncos lost. So the Broncos are still kind of they tread in water. I think the Broncos, at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to the Chiefs and Chargers. The Broncos gonna play spoiler. They're gonna pop somebody.
They're gonna hurt somebody
in the next couple weeks.
Somebody that didn't need that loss. They're gonna play spoiler like you just said.
So what do you guys think about the AFC West right now and how this season has developed?
I think the Kansas City Chiefs offense has throttled down, but I think it's because teams are forcing them to play safe football. And what they're doing differently now compared to what they were doing early in the season is they're not forcing it. And the defense has figured out a way to tackle people. I don't know if they stopped putting Sorensen on the field or what, but
Sorensen made a play.
He did make a play the other day, though. I was like, okay, look at it. He tried to get redemption. That was probably his one play for the season. But I mean, I think Kansas City, for the most part, is running away with the division. Los Angeles is just a weird team. I tried to look, like on a podcast I did like last week, I tried to look at like why. I did find out like some of the things that they struggle with are like pre-snap penalties and like personal fouls. And those things change games, and those things will take an opportunity where they were about to kick a field goal to turn into a punt. And that's where a lot of their games come down to is one possession, two possessions. And I think that's why they're going to struggle into the postseason. I think they still might be able to squeak in a later seed because they are a very talented team, both offensively and defensively. But just like we talked about in the last division, if you look at the coaches in that division, well, Andy Reid is the cream of the crop. The rest of these dudes, you know, are either new or the Raiders don't even have a coach. So, like, you know, that plays a big part in what's happening in the division. You know what I'm saying? Again, like when we come down to this time, even if you like look at the game yesterday, I know we're gonna talk about the AFC East in the future, but how bold of Belichick to just say, forget it. We ain't gonna throw it. You know what I'm saying? And then figure out a way to still do it and win the game. That's not gonna happen with no ordinary coach. And I think Andy Reid is on that level of, all right, whatever happens in the game, I got the ability as a coach to make a change, especially because the offensive coordinator too, to make it happen.
But do you think, right before we get to you know that, do you think part of that is sometimes coaches have a little arrogance about it, especially great coaches have a little arrogance about it. They may treat regular season games not so much as a throwaway game, but it's a difference between
don't give you A1.
It's a difference between how you calling a game recklessly in week 4 or week 9 and being in January 9th in the cold, or even if it's nice weather and you got a situation where if I blow this call or if I call this game stupidly, our asses will be gone. So typically we see teams call the game a lot tighter and a lot more rational in the playoffs too, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think I absolutely agree with you on that. The Chiefs remind me of the NBA Golden State Warriors, where it's like they know they could put up 30 points in a quarter. So sometimes they be bored and they'll lose.
Do they know that anymore though? Like they've been struggling since late last season.
So and then you gotta think about coming in.
They don't believe that no more. They used to
not no more. But I'm saying when they came into the season, like you saying, could it be some arrogance? I think too. You got to look at, like we talked about a couple of episodes ago, right? Patrick Mahomes just got that check. You know what I'm saying? He coming in with his chest out. They coming back after, you know, being a Super Bowl contender in back-to-back years. So they feel like, okay, let's get on this revenge tour. So they came into the season on a high thinking they was just going to walk into the Super Bowl again, and things didn't go the way they thought it would.
Them 17 games hit them in the face. Know that. What's up? What you think?
The AFC West really panning out the way I thought it would pan out for right now. I said that the Raiders and Denver will be fighting for the bottom of the division, and they doing that. And I said Kansas City and the Chargers will be fighting for number 1. I'm not really convinced about the Chargers right. I'm sorry. About Kansas City right now because it's something wrong with the offense. It ain't the same offense that I'm used to seeing. It was in the same one that that scare folks.
Yeah.
No. That was it. Folks just putting the safety over the top, and you're not finna just overrun me. You're not finna just run past me. When it comes to that division, though, they play the Chargers one more time. The Chiefs play the Chargers one more game, though.
Yep. December 16th.
Yeah, I think the Chargers beat
Thursday night.
Yeah, I think the Chargers done beat them one time.
Yeah.
That guy said who's gonna win the division. Before the season, I said the Chargers were gonna win. The Chiefs were gonna win the division. But the Chargers playing good ball. They playing good ball. They off and on at times. All the flaws y'all said that they got, I think all that come from coaching. With the false starts and you're starting out slow and stuff like that. I think that all that come from coaching. I think that's coaching and being a young coach or whatever with them. But they got talent. They got a lot of talent. They match up with Kansas City real well, so that they can put a safety on on your boy Kelsey, and he can't dominate like he want to.
Yeah.
So I think that game against the Chargers is gonna tell who's gonna win that division. So I'm gonna stick with what I said earlier in the year. I take Kansas City to win the division, but I'm not sold on Kansas City. I'm thinking Kansas City going out first round. I ain't lying. I think Kansas City going out first round. And the reason why I think that defense got changed around is one person. I think he got a new number too. I think he's number 24 or number 25. Melvin Ingram. I think they ain't named Melvin Ingram.
Yeah. Melvin Ingram has
him and Clark. Clark back too.
Blank Clark.
Yeah. I forgot his first name. I know his last name Clark. Him and Clark back. So you got somebody you got 2-4 that can run the passer, and Jones demands a double team.
Yeah.
Then we got that defense turned around.
Yeah.
I think
I might be wrong though, but you know that.
Well, I think the Chargers and the Chiefs both got their own issues. I think the Chiefs' issues are more overcomable, even though it's not a word. But the Chiefs' issues are more overcomable because they got the pedigree, they got the coach, like you guys mentioned. They got the defense that been there before. They seem to be starting to, take form right at the right time, and they still have the weapons on offense. Now, when you look at the Chargers, man, the Chargers' issues been the same all season. Now, you can be as opportunistic on defense as you want, but when you 31st against the run and 27th in points given up, it's only so much Justin Herbert gonna consistently be able to do. Eckler. I mean, to me, this seems like typical Charger football, like we would see under Phillip Rivers or we would see under Breeze, where whoever the quarterback is, insert quarterback. Astronomical passing numbers, running back, big touchdown numbers.
Dan Fouts and Kellen Winslow, they always been Stan Humphries,
Michael Turner, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yes, always had talent.
Put up offense. They always had names on defense too. Like they always had guys on defense.
They always had talent.
But they just always found ways to lose games. It's just odd that some games look like they just completely outmatched. And to your credit, that could be the lack of coaching experience. But in the end, I do believe that's what's going to be the Chargers' downfall. Like that lack of defense, the lack of stability on defense.
Coaching? And the lack of talent on defense?
Yeah, but the lack of production. They ain't got a lack of talent. It's something with that coach. Like that, the defense, it's something wrong with them defensively. They got too much talent on that defense to be as awful as they are. Now, they do need a true dude in the middle of that defensive line for damn sure.
That's what I was just going to say. They need a DT. They need a DT bad. See, one thing about when you play that 3-4 defense, you got to have a DT that you know his name.
Nose.
Yeah.
Need that nose.
If you don't know his name, he ain't making no noise if he play 3-4 defense. They just put it down. You play 3-4 defense, you don't know that D talking name. No talking name. He ain't making no noise.
Now, I want to say they coming from like that cover 3 Seattle defense the year before, because Bosa was in almost the same position like Nick Bosa is in now, and now he's converted to that outside linebacker. So I think some of it too, the inconsistency.
That makes a big difference too.
Yeah, the inconsistency is that they also learning kind of the system and positions and things like that defensively. So sometimes they feel it and they make great plays, and then other times they think too much and get caught out of position.
But it's week 14 now, so if they ain't learned about now, they ain't gonna learn it. Well, that means that shit probably don't really fit with them. You got to get trying to. I can feel that in week 4.
Yeah.
So what you saying? You know what you saying? My team went through that last year.
Yeah.
We had a whole new defense coordinator. Had DeMarcus Lawrence at the outside linebacker and all of those out position shit, and we looked at the way we looked. So that do make a big old difference. People might not think that make a difference, but just changing defensive schemes and having people opposition, they learning different shit they got to do, make a big difference. So, but by now, they ain't learned about now. That might not be for them.
There's definitely going to be some turnover as usual with the new regime coming in year after year.
Yeah. So where y'all at? I got the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I got to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs too. I'm going to go with
Chiefs across the board.
I ain't going to go back more.
Chiefs.
I don't believe them, though. They shaky hell. But I give them the division, though. With the coaching staff and stuff, everything that was said, I give them the push on the Chargers this year.
You really don't want to say that, do you?
I don't really, because I don't believe
you really don't want to say it.
I know something ain't right about them, brother. Like before the beginning of the year, before the season started, I ain't gonna lie. Before the season started, I called like the Super Bowl rematch.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey,
but I want some the city holding up their end of the bargain.
Pete, it's gonna be first Sunday in February. Chiefs gonna be hoisting the trophy. He gonna be on the podcast, man. Just something ain't right about him.
Yes,
just something ain't right about them Chiefs, man.
You're right. I don't see it. I don't see it.
No, you're right though. It ain't. You right. It ain't. You're right. It's something ain't right about him. Anybody with any football common sense can see that team offensively been off since like late last season. Like it didn't just pop up this year. So, but yeah. So hey, I feel you. Chiefs across the board. Let's go. AFC East, man, with my boy Tom Brady light, or Diet Tom Brady,
Beautiful.
or Tom Brady XO. If you believe he the XO, that's what I'm gonna call. That's what I'm gonna call Mac Jones for now. I'm gonna call him the XO. I'm gonna call him the XO, boy.
He can handle it.
Yeah, so man, he got them boys at that 9-4. He went out there last night and won a game, only throwing 3 damn passes. I'm impressed by that, man. Buffalo, I'm glad Bill Belichick did what he did to him. Like, I'm not a Sean McDermott fan. I'm not a Buffalo fan, period. I love Josh Allen. I just don't like Sean McDermott, period. I think their plan was to, and understand, you want to use what your home field advantage is. Theirs is nobody ever. Historically, you can go back to the early 90s, Rich Stadium with Jim Kelly and them boys. Nobody ever wants to go play at Buffalo in January, February.
Yeah, no.
And you for damn sure can't throw the football up there. So their plan is you go get a big, strong quarterback with a unruly arm who can throw the ball in the winter in that air, and that's going to be your advantage. But the thing is, you're going to burn them out. Because now you're in a situation where you're not running the ball well. You played well enough to beat New England last night, and truthfully, you just got out coached. You put your defense in an awful situation to even stand up to what they were doing last night. You didn't make any adjustments, and push come to shove, you've been like that same type of team. Like people, I think in general, I feel like people have given the Buffalo Bills way too much clout, bro. Like, and that's going back to last season with some of the teams they beat, and when they beat them, and how they beat them, and who those teams were missing. And you can kind of make that same case for the Buffalo Bills this season with certain teams and when they beat them and how they beat them. Now, they got up for the Kansas City Chiefs. That was their Super Bowl. That was one of their Super Bowls. They got up for the Kansas City Chiefs.
They were built for them.
They got it for Tennessee. They got it for Tennessee too. Even though, they damn near blew that game too. But in general, I think Buffalo, what's happening with the AFC East right now is what I figured was going to happen. Before the season started, I had the New England Patriots winning the division. I had the Buffalo Bills coming in second. I had the Miami Dolphins third and the Jets fourth. And I'm thinking that's exactly how it's going to pan out.
I think what happened with Buffalo is they were created in so many ways. The way the team was built, like we talked about before, to compete with the Chiefs. So they're not a physical team. They have a lot of speed. They have a lot of talent on the outside at the skill positions. But in that interior, they're not built to handle a team like you would say in New England. And in so many ways, I feel like they didn't take into account, or they didn't really care about how they look compared to the teams in their division. Because honestly, they don't match up well with any of the teams in the division, except maybe the Jets, but that's just on a talent level. But if you think about physical football, the Dolphins and the Patriots have way more physical defenses for sure. And that showed, specifically yesterday in the game. I don't think there was an adjustment to make. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think they had the personnel to stop them. They didn't have nobody on the defensive line who could shed a block. They didn't have a linebacker who could scrape, and they didn't have a safety who could come downhill and make a tackle. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't like Tyreek Hill over there on the Patriots, right? It ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you seen your boy N'Keal Harry fumble the punt. Like, I don't even know why they didn't have all 11 people. Just line 11 people up front like a punt return or something.
Right.
What scared you? Like, what scared you? Like, what the hell scared you?
You know what I'm saying?
What scared you? when the way they're running the ball, like what wide receiver out there for New England Patriots they're gonna scare you? They make you be. Well, I can't. Hold on, man. You got to say to look over there. Him. Make sure you pay attention to him, right? Hell no. So they ain't got nobody.
Nobody. But you know what? You got to glance over at that sideline and look at Bill and say, you got to say that about Bill, though.
What?
That man scared me over there.
I said, man, you right. I can't take that for Bill. So you right.
You know, Bill walk around with that notepad and that pencil.
You right. You 100% right about that. Bill the bad thing out right now. He the bad thing, period. But the game, that Buffalo game, man, I ain't even looking at New England. I'm looking at Buffalo like, man, what the fuck y'all got going on, man? Really, man? Them folk come out there and run. You got 9 folks in the box. They got 7 folk blocking. You still can't stop them from running the ball. Really, man? I'm talking about this. You can't stop them running the ball. So now I start looking at Buffalo like, okay, you built to beat Kansas City. You thinking you in the AFC West. You ain't in the West. You in the East. So you built to beat another team out of another division. You can't do nothing with the folks in your division.
Yeah, they can't even do nothing with their own damn stadium. Like y'all are indoors team.
I think they felt like, all right, we already know we gonna end up versus the Chiefs. We not even worried about having to compete in the division. I think, like you said, that was
when you're thinking like that, you're dead automatically. So when you start thinking like that, you dead. You walking dead. So you start thinking like that, and you see that with every team we seen Buffalo lose again. They lost that game because the team was more physical than them.
Yep.
The team straight came out there, ran straight up their ass, and they couldn't do nothing about it. Period. Do you think the New England Patriots, the same game plan they just did now, come out with that same game plan to get the Miami Dolphins and beat the Dolphins?
No.
Well, you know what? Now that you mention it, when you go back and look at the Buffalo Bills schedule, they did lose to Pittsburgh week 1, but that was when Pittsburgh was physical. Like I don't know what they is now. They ain't physical right now.
First game, and you know they were physical the first game.
Everybody fresh and physical.
You see, so they put their ass straight in the mouth. You see, they're not with the physicality. They need to find a way to put them over there in the AFC West because that's where they want to go.
Well, Tennessee punched them in the mouth. Yeah, Tennessee punched them in the mouth. Jacksonville punched them in the mouth. The Coast punched them in the mouth and the stomach.
Called out that all them teams that called out, you can't tell me that one ain't all them teams ain't physical. Even the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, I don't know what Jacksonville is, because Jacksonville been getting their throat slit the last couple games. So.
But they still physical on defense. They ain't getting blowed out.
They was physical enough to push around Buffalo. And I think that's an indictment on Buffalo.
Because they're not physical enough. They don't want to be, they wet paper, they don't want to be physical. And the New England game with the icing on the cake, man, to show you that. That shows you that.
Speaking of that, so what y'all think? Because they got Tampa coming up. They got Tampa, Carolina, New England. They got, wait a minute now. They got some Falcons and some Jets. They got some Falcons. They got some Falcons and some Jets.
I think they can make it into the. I think they could probably make it into the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna win that division.
Man, they play Tampa Bay, right?
Yep.
They're their week. They're their week, right?
Yep.
That's a must win. You fuck around, lose to them, right? Now
they at Tampa.
They what you be 86, 85, 86, some shit like that? 86?
They'll be 7-6.
They'll be 7-6. Then you gotta go down to New England. You just couldn't beat them folk running the ball when you knew they were running the ball. Now they can hit you with the peekaboo. When you go down, now they can throw the ball. Now they can hit you with the peekaboo. It's a strong possibility you lose that game. So now, how many games that'll be? You lose that? Would it be 7 losses?
Yeah.
You know what? Truthfully, man, when I look at this schedule, I don't know what type of Cam Newton gonna show up. But even Carolina, defensively, Carolina. No, but defensively, Carolina is built to handle. They built to handle Buffalo. Like I don't think
they're not built to handle Cam Newton, though. That's the problem.
And the way Cam Newton built is built to make goddamn Buffalo defense like he did butt naked.
The problem is Carolina defense not handled the carry Cam Newton. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So they say they beat the Jets. They beat the Jets, the Falcons, the Cam Newton, them 3 teams, right? Let's say they beat them 3 teams. That's 10 wins. That's 10 wins. But they lose the 2 games that they called out to Tampa Bay and New England. So that means that's 10-7. Somebody gonna be 11-6.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna be able to get them in. 10-6. 10-7 ain't get you in. It's somebody 11-6.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna get you in.
So who y'all got?
Now you fight with. I got New England to win the division, man. I had.
Yeah, I think New England defensively is not to be messed with. I think they'll win the games that they need to win. I think they'll win the division too. Easily.
I got New England to win the division, though. So I got to win the division.
All right, well.
But don't sleep on Miami now. Do not sleep on Miami.
Man, I'm sleep.
I'm sleep.
I'm
not. Nah, they did win 5. They did win 5 straight, but I'm still asleep. I might have rolled over a little bit.
Hey, Miami get a bye week, right? You know Miami get a bye week, right?
They got a late bye.
I think
New England got one.
Yeah, New England won. The reason why I said don't sleep on Miami, fuck around, New England don't beat the Colts. I think New England played Miami on week 17 or 16, one of them.
That's always a tough game too.
That's gonna be a tough ass game for the New England Patriots. And the Miami Dolphins already done beat them one time.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a tough game for them. So don't sleep on. I'm gonna take New England to win the division right now, but don't sleep on Miami.
I'm sleep.
Don't sleep on Miami.
I might have rolled over a little bit, like, Dad, that's 5 games. Oh, all right, and I went right back to sleep.
Yeah. The Dolphins and the New England get a bye week this week. So when they come out the bye, they play. When they come out the bye, the Pats play the Colts. I don't know who the Dolphins play.
Well, at least that's what, back-to-back clean sweeps, Kansas City and New England.
Yeah, New England. I'll take New England.
We may disagree. I'm pretty sure we're gonna disagree on this one though, because we got something. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, let's talk about the Tennessee Titans. As we know, they've been without Derrick Henry for a good 5-6 games, I believe now. 5 games.
We ain't got to worry about him no more.
Yeah, yep. They're supposed to be activating A.J. Brown, I heard. No, not A.J. Brown, Julio Jones.
Julio on the way back. Now, y'all don't be hating on Julio now. You're on the way back now.
He's going to be
Julio we going to get, man.
And by 3
the one that caught that pad getting New England, the one you finna get.
Man, we getting Julio or Don Julio?
No, we ain't talking about
Which Julio we getting?
We talking about the who caught that pad getting New England.
Don Julio.
Oh, you talking about young leg Julio? No, we ain't getting. Tennessee ain't getting young leg Julio.
Don Julio.
They finna get that one in the bill. That was finna be in the bill.
All right, so AFC South, man. I'm gonna say this. I feel like the Colts the best team in that division, but what I think is gonna screw them over. First of all, the only way they can get screwed over is if Tennessee managed to win some games. But what I think is gonna ultimately end up doing the Colts in is the fact that they dropped them 2 games to Tennessee. Because if you put them 2 teams on the field now, Colts will go all upside their heads. I'm pretty sure they will, even though that defense is still there, but they got a couple guys nicked up. But it's too difficult for them to generate points right now, offensively, for them to really be taking that seriously. You can even look at my power rankings. I don't even have they 8-4, lead of the division, and I don't even have them in my power rankings.
I see that they split like that. I see that. It's 2 folks in your power. It's 2 teams in your power ranking. You ain't got enough. I ain't gonna say nothing about it though. I'll check it though. I'm gonna check that. I see 2 teams you ain't got enough. You split right now. I see 2 teams you do not have your power ranking. I'm like,
you already know. You already know, but so Tennessee got an interesting 5 games left. They got a game against Jacksonville, of course. That is what it is. They at Pittsburgh, host your 49ers, host the Dolphins, and finish at Houston. So we know that Houston game can be tricky. That Dolphin game.
I think they're gonna straighten that Houston game. I think I give them that game. I think they're gonna straighten that Houston game. You know, Houston ass and they play Houston, they beat their head.
I think Frisco beat them by like double digits though. I think Frisco beat them.
What they play them at?
They host Frisco.
Yeah.
At Tennessee, what time? 1 o'clock.
8:20, my man. It's a Thursday night.
It's a Thursday night.
Thursday night game. Okay,
Man, 49ers Titans. Don't that sound like a Thursday night game?
Wait a minute.
Oh, NBA TV. NBA TV ass
It sound like a 1 o'clock. That's why I said it sound like a 1 o'clock game on the Sunday.
That's that ESPN 3.
ESPN Deportes. ESPN Plus.
They're gonna be a big game. They're gonna be a big game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta see who San Francisco play the week before that, and who Tennessee play.
I think we play Cincinnati.
Y'all gonna lose that Cincinnati game.
Nah.
If y'all play Cincinnati before you play Tennessee, you gonna lose 2 games in a row.
Nah, I think we got Atlanta somewhere in there. And
we just before Tennessee. Who you play for Tennessee?
Hey, no disrespect to Falcons fans, man. No disrespect to Falcons fans.
They know what's going on.
They know the business.
Yeah, but we are kind of like tossing the Atlanta Falcons around like they bust over.
Man, one thing about anybody that know me and they hear me talking about sport, they know it real talk, no fan talk.
It's Bengals, Falcons, Titans.
Okay, you play the Falcons for the Titans, right? That's okay.
We play the Bengals this weekend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But I'm talking about that you play the Falcons before you play Tennessee. That'd be a pretty good game because the Falcons, I don't think the Falcons be too much.
Then the Texans and the Rams.
But that Tennessee game gonna mean something for Tennessee when they play y'all.
Yeah.
That game gonna mean something for both of y'all. But if you lose Cincinnati, they're gonna mean real something. So you play Cincinnati out there that week.
But so what you think about the Colts then? What you think about the Colts for last 5?
Who the coach play? I think the coach just started out too slow, but I think the coach still the best team.
I think if I look at both teams, like you mentioned, inconsistent injuries at certain key positions, even though I don't think the Colts really that injured, except maybe T.Y., you know what I'm saying? He's been in and out the lineup.
He stayed about off.
Yeah. So what I really got to look at,
we're early in the season.
Yeah. He's back though. What I got to look at is the schedule. So the Colts play the Patriots, the Cardinals, and the Raiders. I feel like them 3 very difficult games for them to win. The Raiders probably, but them 3 very difficult games, especially
they got to come 2 out. They got to win 2 out of 3 of them games.
Yeah, and then they end with Jacksonville, so they got a layup at the end. But compared to the Titans, the Titans got they got to buy the Jaguars, the Steelers. I feel like those will be 2 very winnable games. They got the 49ers. They probably going to lose that game. Then they got the Dolphins and the Texans, 2 very winnable games.
Yeah.
So if I look at the schedule, I think the Titans have the schedule that will allow them to get in where they need to go.
Okay, I understand that, right? But I got to go ahead and these 2 games. I got to go ahead 2 games. So you tell me they can beat Pittsburgh. They can beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They can beat Pittsburgh. I said I almost said I can stand on there, but I don't know. Because I like Pittsburgh defense. So they offense don't scare me enough.
Yeah.
Tennessee offense don't scare me enough. They can beat Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh defense better than the 49er defense. I believe it is. It may not be. I might be hallucinating. So I'm saying, but they can't do nothing with the 49ers. They can't do nothing with the 49ers, but they can beat Pittsburgh.
It'll be a good game, you know what I'm saying? But I think in the grand scheme of things, because we in a different division, they're not gonna be as turned up, you know what I'm saying? Like they might be for the Steelers and for the Dolphins, who in the AFC trying to make them final 6 or 7 spots. They probably gonna take the week off to recover when they play us, and we just gonna take advantage.
Yeah, y'all need that game too to probably hold y'all spot.
We need all these games, man. We need all.
I said at the beginning of the year, I picked the Colts to win the division.
Yeah.
But I think they started off slow. I'm saying the slow start gonna fuck them up. And I believe they're not gonna win the division. Tennessee will pull it out just because they started off quick and early. And with the schedule you was just calling out, the Colts schedule a little bit more harder.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll catch Tennessee, so I get Tennessee the division.
So that's another clean sweep.
I think Tennessee. I think the Colts might make the playoff though. If they win them first 3 games you just called out. If they can win 2 of them 3 games, New England, Arizona. And if they can win 2 of them 3 games, I want to say all three. I want to say all three bad, but they really got to win all three on really, because they done lost 6 games already, right? And they 7. They got to win all 3 of them games. They can win all 3 of them games. The coach can make the playoffs because they can be that 11-16 that I was saying they can get in.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but if not, a 10-7 will get you in. And who I was just saying they're gonna go 10-7. I think I said with Buffalo or some shit.
Yeah, Buffalo.
But I'm saying, but see, the coach beat Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Beat them bad.
They
2 weeks ago.
That might hurt Buffalo for getting in. Cause 10-7. If the coach end up 10-7, they record better than Buffalo. They beat Buffalo with the tie. But if the coach win these first 3 games you just called out, New England, Arizona, and the Raiders, they locked in. They might be already locked in though. Even though I'm looking in right
now. So that's another clean sweep. All 3 of us got Tennessee. I mean, I'm gonna say that I got Tennessee by default because I feel like
me too.
They got the ace. They got the ace in their back pocket.
I ain't picking them because of the team they are. I'm picking them because of the teams they gonna go up against.
Yeah, I think they got an early start. So I think
the cushion they built.
They dropped out early. So now it's all good. Let's just say they were gone and they were week 3. Shit, they had caught.
Yeah.
I mean, they had been caught. So but now they can get away. And then like they finna get AJ Brown back. I don't know. I mean, Julio Jones back. They're gonna be all right. They'll be solid, but I think they still.
Julio.
They're still going that first round though. I ain't got them. I ain't taking them away from still winning that number 1 seed too.
Oh man.
The Titans.
Yes, I ain't taking them away from not winning that.
I mean, they was just up there like 2 weeks ago.
Why I said that, look at the schedule you just called out.
Every week is a new number 1 in the AFC.
New England got to play the Colts. They got to play Buffalo again. They got to play Miami, and then I don't forget the other 2 teams they got to play with them. You just told me that Tennessee got to play Jacksonville. They got to play Pittsburgh. They got to play the 49ers. They got to play some more
man.
2 more scores.
I'm gonna say this. This season has taught us ain't no layups.
I don't
ain't no layups.
I'm winning it. I still got I don't rule Tennessee for getting out that number 1 seed, and I believe they need that number 1 seed.
Yeah.
I ain't ruling them out for getting that number 1 seed, the Tennessee Titans.
Well, let's slide on.
Lord, how much we gotta go to this division right here. Lord,
what to talk about though? Like, what is this?
It is something to talk about.
It's a lot to talk about because we got a big game. I
got a lot of hype on this division right here now. I think the really what toughest. I say B toughest like toughest division A, tough division B. I think this toughest division B in the whole NFL, the NFC West now. I think they're next to the AFC North. They're the next big thing, and they right next to the North to me.
I mean, look, if we're gonna be honest about it, Frisco, they logically do have a chance to catch the Rams. They got another game against the Rams.
Last game of the season.
The Rams got them Ravens in a few weeks. We don't know what Raven team gonna show up, but they gonna be physical. We know the Rams don't like physical.
No, they don't.
So it's possible, man, that if the 49ers just play steady football, take care of business.
I'll be happy with the little 7 seed we at right now. Let's not overextend ourselves.
You're supposed to be. You're supposed to be. Yeah. One thing about it, you just want an opportunity. Give me an opportunity. So I'm saying, give me an opportunity. And before this season started, so I'm saying I picked 3 teams to come out of the division to make the playoff. I picked the San Francisco 49ers, LA Rams, and the Arizona Cardinals. But I had it in the order of the 49ers winning the division, the Rams coming in second, and Arizona coming in third. I'm saying, but it's going the other way around. I ain't got no problem.
The other way around.
I ain't got no problem with it. But I think, like I said, I think they're one of the toughest divisions in football, if it ain't the toughest. And I got 3 teams coming out of the division to make the playoff. The Rams, Arizona, and San Francisco. And right now, what I said is going in the right direction.
Well, all right, so I'm going to ask y'all this. When Arizona's healthy, Kyler under center, DeAndre Hopkins out there making touchdown catches, James Conner getting in the end zone, Zach Ertz out there catching the ball, the defense is flying around making plays. We can go through even the team rankings. There's not really any flaws on this team. Now you can make the argument, okay, they give up defensively, they give up a lot of rushing yards. But even the rushing yards, they middle of the pack right now. They're 16th in the league in stopping the run. But at the end of the day, on the offensive side of the ball, they got 19 rushing touchdowns. So, in y'all estimation, minus injuries, what could be what derails this team?
Well, I think, like we talked about it with some of the other teams, they can't make mistakes in critical moments in the game, and I think they have avoided that so far this season, for
The
whatever
trap games.
reason. Yeah, they've avoided the trap games. They came into games where, for example, like the game against San Francisco, where it seemed like Cole McCoy was out. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins was out. Kyler Murray was out. JJ Watt went on IR the week before. Like everything that seemed to point to, okay, this is the game. They take the L and they put up 30 some points, right? And then now the next week they lost, but then the following week after that they did the exact same thing where they missing players at key positions, but they're able to overcome it. And I think for me, what I see with Arizona is outside of obviously they brought in like Zach Ertz and JJ Watt. I think outside of that though, if you look at some of the players on defense like Buda Baker, Alford at corner, the defensive linemen, they've been there. Chandler Jones, that they've been there and they gelled and they are really solid.
Elijah Molden also.
Yeah, same thing offensively, right? I know DeAndre Hopkins has been there for like 2 seasons now, but him and Kyler have kind of grown into the offense together, just like Christian Kirk, and they brought in Rondale Moore, who's another excellent weapon. So I think more than anything, what Arizona is taking advantage of is their continuity, after being such an organization that like just went from one number one draft pick to another one, and all sorts of things. Probably since like Kurt Warner, right? They've been kind of all over the place when it came to who they were as a team. So I think the continuity is finally coming to full fruition for them.
Well, yeah, I think they took the right gamble. A lot of people made a huge deal about it and said it was foolish to draft a quarterback, was the 13th overall when they took Rosen 3 years ago, and turned around and said, you know what? In less than 7 months, you know what? We can wash our hands of this guy.
They admitted they was wrong.
Yeah, and moved on. They took a gamble.
The coach and the quarterback, not just the quarterback, the coach and the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean that gamble's paid off. It's paid off tremendously.
A lot of folks won't stand up to that though. That one, I respected that by Arizona. How they stood up to that and like we were wrong, we made a mistake.
They ripped the Band-Aid off.
A lot of folks go 3-4 years before they make that decision. So I'm saying, and still won't say they were wrong. They'll just them folks figure that shit out immediately and got their boom, got up on it. You gotta respect that. They're shaking it.
So we got a monster game Monday night. Monster game. We talked about this prior in the chat. My opinion, like I said, got a chance, the opportunity to see Matthew Stafford's entire career here in Detroit. Seen every game he's thrown the football as a Los Angeles Ram. He's played in playoff games here, 3 playoff games here in Detroit. But I think that this Monday night game at Arizona, with everything that's at stake everything that's at stake for him and the Rams, this is probably the biggest game of his career.
I believe so too.
He gonna fumble it. Don't worry about it.
I don't know about that part.
Y'all ain't got nothing to say about that. That's y'all boy right there, man.
I can't stand on it. I can't stand on it. I can't stand on it. He gonna fumble though. Be real though. I think the Rams gonna win that game.
I don't think there is, man.
And the reason why I say I believe they're gonna win that game, because past history done told me before the last time they just played Arizona and Arizona beat them, they had beat Arizona 5 straight games.
No, it was more than 5.
Well, however it was, I got
it was a.
But they had been beat. The last time they on the Arizona beat the Rams, that was Kyler Murray's first time ever beating the Rams. Him and the coach. So I think I don't know where they game gonna be played. I don't know where they played it. I ain't got the sheet in front of me.
They in Arizona.
And this is a must-win game for the Rams.
Man, that place is gonna be rocking, man. They ain't had when's the last time they had a Monday night game?
Huh?
Was the Cardinals on Monday night last season? I don't know if anybody would know offhand, but
I can't remember. I think if it wasn't Monday, it was a Sunday night. Because I remember they played us one night. They upped the score on this. So I don't know if it was a Sunday night.
I'm gonna say this, man. I got a homeboy that he migrated from up here down to Arizona. He a big, Phoenix Suns fan, big sports fan. He go to everything, all the sports events there. And he tells me firsthand that fan base there, when that Arizona Cardinals team is popping and the Suns is popping, both of those places are some rough places to play. So I think, man, Arizona got too much going for them right now. I think they had to overcome a lot of things. We had this discussion prior to the first matchup against the Rams weeks ago, and we stated all the statistics historically, how bad they played against the Rams the previous 3 years since Kyler Murray and Cliff came into the league together. Joined it, matter of fact. They've been slaying giants all season.
Yeah.
Now they did lose one. They've been fighting demons, shall I say? They've been fighting those demons all season and been battling them off. That San Francisco game, the first time with Colt McCoy, like that was a game that was expected for them to lose. They've been taking care of business. A lot of people felt, okay, you know what, going to Chicago this time of year, trap game, 1 o'clock game. They went to Chicago and they handled them boys. They handled them the way a legit team is supposed to. No hiccups. No hiccups. New England went into Buffalo last night, no hiccups. Now it may not have been ugly, but it was direct. They did. Yeah, New England didn't win that game by accident. You knew what their plan was, and they went in there and they executed.
Yep.
Yeah. So the top flight teams around this time of season, they figure it out. They know exactly what they are, and they keep it moving. There are no hiccups. A hiccup for them is a guy got hurt, and by fluke chance y'all beat us on that given Sunday. But I think as long as this team is healthy, I don't see nothing the Rams can do right now. Got the Cardinals win the division. I had them win the division actually right before the season started.
I got a Cardinals win the division all the way. Cardinals the best team in the NFL right now. Right now, be the Cardinals the best team in the NFL. Do that mean that they can't lose? No. Well, that don't mean they can't lose, not to me to them, but right now I think they're the best team in the NFL. But it's still any given Sunday. And I think the Rams need the game a little bit more than them, and they're gonna come a little bit more and probably pull them out. I could be wrong.
I think the Rams want the game. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think they
do want it.
Yeah, they want it. I don't know how bad they want it.
I think they want it bad. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said,
the Cardinals want it bad too.
You know they gave up a lot of picks. They made a lot of moves. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure if they realistic with themselves, being 8-4 is probably not. I mean, it's not terrible, but the way that they got the 8-4 is probably not the way they thought they would end up in the situation that they in. It's not really like a positive 8-4. You know what I'm saying? If there is such thing as a negative 8-4, but I think. Outside of those players that you hear about the Rams, outside of the Aaron Donalds, the Jalen Ramsey, who else plays defense for the Rams? You know what I'm saying? You got Leonard. Okay, really? No, but who else plays defense? I know he own it, but who played defense?
Well, one guy is a guy that he play here right now. He over there making plays for them.
Talk about that linebacker or that safety.
No, John Johnson, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and I mean, people just brushed it off. You can almost say kind of the same thing about the offense of the Rams. You know what I'm saying? You hear about Matthew Stafford, you hear about Cooper Kupp obviously having a historic season. OBJ trying to find his way. The tight end dropping balls. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line. Who plays offensive line for the Rams? Who's the running back this week? Out Henderson? I don't know. Some dude.
What did they show? The boy come from New England.
Sony Michel, whatever, some dude, like I said. So, like, I think you gotta think about the
man, you don't disrespect that Georgia product like that, man.
But no disrespect to the players. But I'm saying if you think about compared to their best player at Jalen Ramsey, and that's where football is really a team sport. Just don't throw it to him. He want to be over there on that island. Leave him over there on the island because we about to light up these other 3 defensive backs over here all night long. And that's basically what teams been doing. That's what we did. We ran away.
Jalen travel. Like he's not one of those shutdown corners.
Well, they got him playing it. They got him playing in the slot now. Doing all kind of
stuff. Y'all put their ass in the mouth.
But I think the Arizona Cardinals, like opposite of the Los Angeles Rams, they have the continuity. I think they have the physicality that the Rams struggle with. I think they have speed on the edge. I think if you think about what do you want, like when we talk about all the teams we've talked about, like Buffalo, right? They're very finesse, very fast, very sideline to sideline. Or you have other teams like New England that's very physical, that run the ball out. Well, Arizona kind of has the ability to do both offensively and defensively. If they want to get back and cover, they could do that. If they want to load up the box and rush the passer, they could do that. If they want to line up and goal line and run the wishbone, they could do that. Really, if they wanted to, with Kyler Murray and the running game that they have. And then they can also air it out in 5 wide and hurry up. So it's like it makes them really difficult to prepare for it. It makes them really difficult to play with in the game because they can adjust so quickly.
So that's Cardinals across the board then, winning the division?
Yeah. But hold on. I still say if 3 teams in that division make the playoff. 3 teams.
We in it till we out of there. We in there till we out of there.
And the West gonna get 3 of them 7 spots. So
it's very well possible.
We in there till we out of there.
Let me jump to your division then. All right, so this is how I feel about the Cowboys. I still showed your Cowboys some love in my power rankings. I still believe in them. I think they just had a couple hiccups due to injuries. And when teams have hiccups due to injuries, I can cut them some slack on that. I think it may be time to feature Tony Pollard a lot more in the running game and a lot less with Zeke.
It's been time.
I don't know you know better than me about what's going on with Zeke. Is Zeke even worth like having next season? Is he gonna get healthy? Is he the same Zeke? You think he's the same Zeke?
Yeah, I feel like he just got a knee injury right now. So I feel like they should give part of the ball more. So Zeke can get there, heal up, and by the time they playoff time come, he should be already right. So like that's what I feel like. We ain't had no problem with him before he hurt his knee. Before he hurt his knee, we ain't had no problem with him.
Because y'all wasn't giving him no carries. The man only got 20 carries in 2 games this season?
And I ain't got no problem with that. The reason why I ain't got no problem with that, so you can take wear and tear out both of the backs. But he messed around and have a knee injury, doing them, got them less than 20 carries he probably got. So that did not get progress off. So just get probably more carries. And that's it. I don't have no problem with Zeke, man. I just feel like he's just injured right now. Because I like it. I like how he pick up his blocks. So I like how he kick the ball out the backfield. So I like all that. And I feel like you gotta have 2 running backs to be successful.
I agree.
I ain't got no problem with it, but for right now, since I know something wrong with his knee, and they know something wrong with his knee, hey man, take some carries away from him, man. I ain't got no problem with featuring that boy Pollard. I ain't got no problem with that. So that's what you got him for. But where we want to go though, we're gonna need both of them. So if it takes sitting Zeke down to get healthy, get a little bit right, get back right, it's cool, no problem with it.
Well, we know where y'all want to go, but how you gonna get there? How you gonna get there? Y'all got football team twice in the next 3 weeks.
Hey, look, I remember telling you this about last week. I just man, we finna bury them.
Oh man, he talking big time.
You don't believe me? This is what I'm telling you. This on everything. I know we finna bury them, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is the reason why I'm saying we finna bury them.
At Washington,
DeMarcus Lawrence, Parson, and Randy Gregory. All 3 of them will be playing Sunday. And that boy I don't want to say a name on Gilmore, number 96. I want to say number 96, defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Oh, Nevin Gallimore.
Yeah, Nevin Gallimore. I'm sorry, I like him.
I like him coming out of college.
Yeah, this is 2nd year with it. All 4 of them guys gonna be on the field at time Sunday. Boy, we finna eat. We hope. Why would I tell you we finna eat them folk? We finna eat them folk. All of those scoring 15 points, 17 points against the Raiders. Get ready to try to do that again, because that's the only thing we finna give up to you. That's something about 14. So we finna eat them folk, man. Them folk we finna eat them. Why would I tell you we finna eat them folk? We finna eat
And
that.
that's what Cowboy fans do. What you mean? Why would you tell us that? That's what y'all do every year.
I'm telling you, that's the real. That ain't even play though. That ain't even play. That's the real one. That ain't even play. That ain't no hype. That's real. Watch.
And you know what? I totally agree with you. The Cowboys, yeah, they always have the talent. They always have the blue chips. It's always just something like we talked about with the Chargers, where for whatever reason in certain games they fumble the bag. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the 49ers the last few seasons.
And that Prescott, I think that Prescott he don't lose. He been beat Washington. Like everybody, he been dominating the division. Division ain't that. He counted the division.
I agree.
When he lead the division, that's when they start talking about ways he worth that money. So but when he in the division, that shit don't mean we finna dominate them folk. And when I mean dominate them folk, my defense finna show out, bro, getting them folk. Why would I tell you? We finna eat Heineken, but we finna eat him. We finna eat him. Parsley, Law, Gregory, finna eat that man. They finna eat that man. What?
They gonna split. They gonna split. Watch.
Man, no. We finna win our next 3 games. I told Walt this last time we talked about this. We finna win our next 3 games.
We got to play Washington twice. Who else?
We gonna lose Arizona. That team that gonna beat us.
Hey, hold up. Hold on, Mr. 1 o'clock, because y'all got a date with the Giants at 1 o'clock. You like the 1 o'clock game?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
You like them 1 o'clock games, man? Y'all mess around, and lose to the Giants, man.
What's kind of ain't gonna be there? What they name?
Daniel Jones.
I think they starting Jake Fromm or somebody.
But we finna eat it. But we finna have 3.
That game, I'll believe you.
But we finna have 3 warm-up games.
Y'all playing 2 JV teams. You should have 3 warm-up games.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We finna play 3 warm-up games. Washington finna be a warm-up, a get-right game. Giants gonna be a get-right game. And Washington gonna be another get-right game. That's what we finna do. I'm telling you that.
That man said a get-right game against a 500 team.
Yes. All 3 of them. They're not better than this. They're not better than this. Washington, they got too many injuries. They got too many injuries. I see you just struggle against Seattle. You got to wait against Seattle. You just struggle against the Raiders, even though the Raiders beat us, but they beat us without our wide receiver. They're cool. Everybody that didn't play against the Raiders finna play against Washington.
Yeah.
But we finna eat them folk. Why would I tell you they finna eat them folk?
Well, what about the Eagles? You know, the Eagles still hanging around in that division too.
Yeah, they're hanging around. We played them last game of the season. By that time, we probably done pulled off.
I think the Eagles probably the second team in that division.
This is why I say that, because I feel like we finna win our next 3 games. That's when everything like, I ain't popping. I think we supposed to beat these folks. Washington 2 times and the Giants. Play Arizona. Possibility strong, possibility lose that game. I want to see how we play that game against Arizona, how we look against them folks, win or lose. I want to see how we handle them folks.
Yeah.
Then we play Philadelphia. By that time, we got a division wrap.
The division wrap right now, man.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
No, it ain't.
No, it ain't. You know why it ain't?
Man,
you know why it ain't? Because Cowboys seen this shit before.
But
man,
Cowboys fans seen this shit before.
That's why I said we're going to win these next 3 games. We win these next 3 games, then the division wrap. If not, it ain't wrap.
Well, so it's another sweep. We got the Cowboys across the board.
Yeah, I got to yeah.
Yeah. Not because you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the NFC least. What do you think?
He said not because they the truth, because they ain't the truth.
The Cowboys are very talented.
We win last year.
Yeah. No, but Dak was hurt.
I'm gonna say this, man. At full strength, y'all can win it all. Because even I
can't go there.
No, you know why I say that? You know why I say that? Because I done said it before. I don't give a damn about yards. I don't give a damn about passing yards giving up. I don't give a damn about rushing yards giving up. I give a damn about what is your defense looking like on 3rd down? What are you looking like? What is your red zone percentage and turnovers? I can deal with you giving up yards if you taking the damn ball away. And y'all take the ball away. Y'all got a guy who can make plays in the middle of y'all defense at the 2nd level, and Micah Parsons, he can make plays at the line of scrimmage. You also got a couple safeties back there that can make plays, and you got an all-pro corner back there. Now I don't know if he's gonna be an All-Pro corner for years to come, but for damn sure, Diggs gonna be All-Pro this season. So y'all got the ability to take the football away, and y'all can get after the quarterback, and when healthy on offense, y'all can score points. So in general, and I said this going all the way back to the beginning of the season. I felt like y'all can beat y'all and Tampa Bay was the only two teams I thought could actually beat Arizona. At least go into Arizona and beat Arizona. Because y'all got playmakers on defense to force Arizona into making mistakes. Now I could be wrong with that completely because Arizona could just be like that this season. Like we could be looking at them in February like, damn, they was like that. Like they won it all. Like we was talking about them a few weeks ago, but they won it all. So I think, man, like once y'all healthy, y'all good. The only reason I'm not overconfident about them 2 games against Washington is because they 2 games against Washington. Interdivisional games. It's not 2 games against the Giants. It's 2 games against Washington.
It might well be.
Oh man, he extra disrespectful against them, man.
He kind of right though.
Bro, they ain't got it. They ain't got it, bro. They ain't got it.
Man,
what's funny though is Washington and New York probably looking at the game the same way. Like, man, it's the Cowboys, man. We can do this.
And I tried to say it after the game. You see what they were talking about? They probably get jail out there like, I can't even believe
they right for the picking.
We're gonna see about them folks, man. We're gonna see about them folks.
Hey. All right, man. Let's move on to another division that's kind of wrapped up. Minnesota Vikings a disappointment, man. They're a major disappointment for me this season.
Me too.
They put points on the board. They remind me of the old school Lions teams from like the late '90s, like with Scott Mitchell and Herman Moore,
baby,
and Johnny Morton. And no man, look, them Lions teams was loaded, boy. And wide receiver and Barry, Barry, boy, we was putting up points but couldn't win, losing games by field goals.
What's his name at linebacker? He announcer now, the white dude,
Chris Spielman.
Yeah.
He was a little earlier. He was a little prior to that, but yeah, man. Bears ain't shit. Lions ain't shit. Vikings had the potential to be shit, but they just been snake bitten this season. Every season, there's about 3 or 4 teams who just get snake bit all season. Green Bay ran away with the division. Best quarterback in the division.
He ran away.
I'm gonna give Green Bay a whole lot of credit because I thought that secondary, especially even before Jair got hurt, I thought that secondary was gonna be suspect bringing Kevin King back. I thought the Stokes pick in the first round was kind of a reach. He proved me to be completely wrong. Stokes fast. Like Stokes is fast. Like he covers a lot of ground, man. A lot of ground. King should be coming back. Jair ain't coming back, but that secondary played extremely well. The secondary play, the safety play has been pretty solid. I like Green Bay. I like Green Bay a lot. They got the 2-headed monster at the running back position too. Because Dillon a sledgehammer out there, and you don't want to tackle A.J. Dillon in Green Bay in January.
Hell no, you're gonna break something.
Plus Aaron Jones.
You're gonna break something.
You know, they got the quarterback, they got the receivers out there. Aaron can turn any wide receiver into a 55 or a 60-yard touchdown machine, especially when Valdez-Scantling can go in. I think he's the X factor for them. I think when Valdez-Scantling gets going, that offense get real scandalous. They get real scandalous when he out there getting 60-yarders. So
I said that when that running game get juiced. When they running game get juiced.
Yeah, you know what? I will say this. I do like about LaFleur and the play calling. They one of those teams where he's one of those play callers where when they go based off how things are going with either Aaron or the run game. If the running game is going good, you'll see a game where Aaron goes 21 for 28 for 226, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But they ran the ball a good 24, 25 times. So when the running game is working for them, they'll stick with it. Yeah. That's what separates them from some of these other idiotic ass teams out here who we want to win our way. Yeah. I got Aaron Rodgers. Man, I'm throwing the ball 45 times every game. There's coaches in the league that'll do that.
Hell yeah, can't wait to do it.
Hey, now they won't win with him. But I think, this team is built. They play outside.
I got one like that.
Yeah, Buffalo.
My coach get caught up into that shit like that. Him and Kevin Moore, they get caught up in that. I got that Prescott that threw the ball 100 times. They get caught up in that.
Well, man, I think it's the sexiness of the league, man. And then once you pay a quarterback, if you got any quarterback with a pulse, and you pay him top 5 money, you want him to earn that money. You're not paying him that money to just hand the ball off 46 times. Mac Jones ain't gonna be handing the ball off 46 times next season in no games. I guarantee you he won't. They gonna get Mac Jones some weapons, and they gonna open that offense up next season.
Next year might be because they ain't gotta pay him no money. They ain't gotta pay him. They got 3 years to have to pay him. They got 3 years to have to pay him.
So I'm pretty sure we all got Green Bay.
We all got Green Bay. I think having a talent like Aaron Rodgers allows you to overcome a lot of injuries and difficulties where other teams that might derail them. And even like some of the offseason distractions, that just shows you how good of a quarterback he is.
About the organization and their team structure.
Yeah.
I damn sure thought they were going to hold them back. I had picked them. I picked them to make the playoff.
Especially after they lost to the Saints that first game. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I'm like, there you go. That's how that there you go.
Well, I mean, we all know the Saints too. Like the Saints, one of those teams that they play good, really good defense. They rush the passer. They got a shutdown corner and Lattimore out there. On any given Sunday, Saints can step up and beat you, or at least play you to a really close game.
They will be in contention for the playoffs because they're a difficult team to deal with if Jameis is still healthy.
I ain't gonna lie. Me too. I feel the same way about that. Before we can get to them.
And Kamara. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Kamara was healthy.
I feel the same way.
Well, we can slide off from that though. I mean, I don't want to talk about the Bears.
Everybody like Green Bay.
Or the Lions. So let's slide on. All right, so it's only one team to talk about in this division too, man. All right.
Who Carolina?
Yeah, man, let's talk about Carolina, man. That's Sam Darnold, man. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna comment on Carolina for a hot second.
Hold on. You said Sam Darnold. I thought you were gonna talk about he back.
No, man. I'll just
Sam Newton.
This is what bothers me, man. This is what really burns me up about these organizations like Carolina, man.
Carolina got it. Cam Darnold.
But it's the retread. It's the mindset of I'll just go cop a retread. Look at Carolina. Carolina was sitting 1 pick behind Detroit at number 8. Now I like J.C. Horn. I think J.C. Horn gonna be a stud. But instead of buying a new car, you just keep going out buying lemons. You go out, you trade for, even though they didn't really give up much for Darnold at all. They're going to cut ties with Darnold. Darnold won't be in the Carolina uniform next season, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, you brought Cam back. It seemed like bringing Cam back was more of a...
come on,
say it. The season is a wash.
Yes.
The season is a wash. We need to do something.
So whoever had them season ticket holder, they still had a reason to come to the game. That's the only why they signed Cam Newton.
Exactly.
No other reason why. Reason why. They trying to tell me they signed him because he was finna do this, he finna do that. Them lies. They signed that man so they can have them for the season ticket holder, the fan that like him. They'll come to the game, set them seats out, buy some more beer, buy some more hot dog. Appreciate you. So that's what they got. That's what they signed.
So let's talk about a real team. Okay. So Tampa. Hey, listen, man. We discussed this again earlier in the season. Tampa was kind of on a, they was kind of floating through some rough waters. They were staying afloat. They had a bunch of injuries in the secondary. Gronk had a couple issues. Running backs was kind of in and out. One constant was that 45-year-old under center.
Yeah, that boy dead.
Another statistical monster season. When y'all look at Tampa, now it's obvious they're gonna win the division. I ain't no dummy now. They gonna win the division. But when you look at Tampa, are they the team? Because I said this is what happened. I said they was gonna eventually start to round form around December, and they kind of starting to round form now. They're getting some of them corners back. Antoine Winfield, I believe, is back.
Yeah, that's safety.
And I think he's key for them too, because he can also come up and run support. So when they want to run some fire zones, they can run fire zones with him, with Devin White. So I like what they got going on there. I think Tampa. I love Arizona. I think Arizona's great for football. I think Kyler Murray as a player, he's great for the NFL. He's exciting. I think the Cardinals are a talented, deep football team. They're exciting. I'm still putting my money on Tampa because Tom ain't got to go outside. If Tom got to go play on the road in the NFC Championship,
you talking about the whole thing?
You talking about winning the division? Oh yeah, they gonna win the division.
Oh no, they gonna win the division. I'm talking about as far as
about the whole thing.
Oh no,
I think they the most equipped.
No, Dad ain't doing all that. Dad got to calm down.
Hey, listen, you telling me Dad don't mind playing inside Tempe, inside that stadium in Arizona? Not outdoors, inside.
One thing, my dad can go play anywhere. So
Dad will put the turtleneck on. He'll put the turtleneck.
He gonna be about the talent. And what I mean by the talent is, I think that defense still barbecue chicken. When they do get them cornerbacks, that shit still gonna be about.
I don't know. Let's match them up against Arizona, like man for man.
Hey, look,
they're the only secondary, except maybe Green Bay.
They won't need. They probably. They often say Green Bay. I don't think they can beat the Cowboys. I don't think they can beat this. I don't think they can beat.
They beat y'all.
I seen it. I
think they'll beat y'all again
watch
too.
That game.
This won't be the same game. The reason why, because next time we see AB won't be there.
I think that's a bigger loss than people are. I think that's a huge loss because AB, the reason why he's able to go off is he's an all pro wide receiver, but he is in the offense. He end up
in the slot.
Yeah, he end up on your third corner or your fourth corner. He light him up. And I think another thing that's helping Tom Brady have another great statistical season is Leonard Fournette. I think he's been having.
I'm glad Leonard found a home too.
Yeah, between the end of last season and then this season, he's probably playing some of the best football at running back without, some of the accolades that you might see from a Derrick Henry, where every week we looking at a wild highlight, or Jonathan Taylor. I could say Leonard Fournette might be behind when Derrick Henry was healthy. He might be up there as, one of the top 5 running backs in the NFL right now with what he's doing. And he fits that offense well.
Feel like hand and glove with him. He feel like hand and glove with him.
So
and I think, like we talked about with Arizona, Tampa Bay is another team where, and they may not be as able to with AB being out for doing stupid stuff. But if they want to line up in the I formation and run the ball, 20, 30 times a game, they could do that and they could win. They could play action you with Gronk over the middle. Or if they want to spread it out, Brady has no problem throwing slants all day either, just like we talked about with Arizona. So, again, I think the ability for them offensively to change their attack is great. I do agree, though, that defense is really going to be the question mark as far as the injuries, the secondary. Will they be able? They talk about bringing Sherman in at safety or something stupid. I don't know what they got. I don't know if they try to set a record.
Hey, when did you send me that about AB and Richard Sherman getting into it? Did you send me that?
No, not AB and Richard Sherman.
Now, somebody sent me something saying that AB and Richard Sherman.
That was you, man.
Ooh, I ain't seen nobody.
No, that was Walt. That was Walt. He sent it to me too.
Oh.
About them beating, they got into it.
No, the thing about they released AB.
Oh yeah.
But that was the reason why they released AB. Him and I don't know how true it is, but him and AB both got into it. I mean,
I did hear that he got into it with somebody in the locker room.
Oh, and it was Richard Sherman.
He went out there and hopped in the whip and instantly hopped on live.
I don't know what I didn't know. I read it say him and Richard Sherman got a heated argument.
I know. I was on Instagram when he popped up. Exactly when he popped up on live.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this boy AB, man. Anybody pick him up? You think anybody picks him up?
Hell no, they always.
Nah. I think
he's still a productive though. He's still a productive ass player though. Yeah, he can be productive.
When he playing with his best friend.
Well, I mean, we can take a look at some teams down the stretch. The Colts could use him.
You know why he got back in the league. And number one reason got him back in the league. One person got him back in the league.
Thomas Eugene Brady.
Thomas.
And he did it 2 times.
Patrick Edward Brady.
He did it 2 times for him.
Thomas Cleotis Brady.
He did it 2 times for him. He burnt both of them bridges. It's over.
Yeah. It's over. In 2 different cities at that.
It's over with for you.
Say AB and walked up the door.
I'm telling you, that boy got CTE, man.
I can respect it though. He came and got him a ring, got the hell on. He's great.
Yeah, got a chance to make some extra bread.
Yeah, but
I know he still want to play football though.
Let me ask y'all boys. Antonio Brown, Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, I always felt so. I thought, man,
Y'all think they gonna make him? Y'all think they gonna make him wait like?
No, he ain't. They not letting him in. They not letting him in at all.
Oh, he not making it at all.
No, I thought you asked me if I thought he was. I felt like he.
Yeah, I feel like he's supposed to be. I don't know if they'll let him in though, but I feel like he's supposed to be.
They not letting Antonio in.
So what they gonna do? Yeah. They're gonna do it like your boy. What's your boy 9 million play baseball?
Pete Rose.
No, play
baseball. I say it ain't that bad.
Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds.
It ain't that bad either.
The other boy, Pete Rose. Yeah, Pete Rose. I'm doing like Pete Rose.
But he ain't as bad as Pete. Now Pete was
I understand Pete they got caught gambling, but she home coming in with the fake card and everything. So they home coming with the fake card and everything. That mean they ain't bullshit now.
He done compared the fake vaccination card.
Home coming the fake card. Them folks, they take that shit serious though, for real. They take that shit dead serious.
Yeah,
man. You see how they do it, Kyrie Irving? Boy, you can't play man basketball game. You want to take a shot?
Nope.
So if you come with a fake card, they telling them that shit, you don't believe in the shot either. If you come with a fake card,
yeah,
they take that shit serious now.
Well, man, we went through that. You damn right. It took us an hour and 33 minutes, pretty much.
I told us I was like, boy, she didn't get to talk about it.
But I mean, we thoroughly break things down when we do sit down and we get on it.
That's why I don't worry about the time period. I'm like, when they get it talking, bring us something else. They go with what you're talking about.
Things, yeah. That's how things develop. So, fellas, I know both of y'all got shows coming up within the next few days, don't you? Let everybody know where you're at and where they can find you.
Hey, Big Block Sports anywhere, Twitter, Instagram, email bigblocksports1@gmail.com. You can find me on any audio podcast platform and on YouTube, Big Block Sports. Appreciate having me on. Goats and Rings. Hand it over to Know That.
Hey, man, y'all know what's going on this end. It's your boy Moore Drive, man. I represent Know That Sport to the full. I fuck with folks who fuck with me. I'm on all podcast platforms, audio version on all podcast platforms, video version on YouTube. I'm on IG, Mr. Moore Drive, I don't know that sports category, everything I do about sports on my IG. Facebook, Know That Sports Talk Group. Goats and Ring, man, Big Block Sport, man. Walter Stringer, man. I fuck with folks who fuck with me. I appreciate you, bro. For real, you know I fuck with folks who fuck with me. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's all 100, man. It's all love. Shout out to you two brothers. We're going to get out of here. I ain't got nothing to say, just regular old me. But we're going to slide out, man. We got
talent, though. You got to know that.
Yeah, we're gonna link up on Instagram Friday night to cover the game of the week. We're gonna cover that Cardinals Rams Monday night game.
The 49ers Vegas game.
Hey, man, that's a game.
No, well, I mean, that's a big game too.
If the Bengals win that game, you might be out there 7 spots. So that's a hell of a game. You're right.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
Got to play Washington. So that don't mean that. And those are folks out there believing that Washington got a chance to win that game instead of me. I'm the only one that believes they got a chance in hell. I know the folks want to talk about that.
Man, it was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure working with you fellas, man. Till next time, be up, stand out. Peace.